Lots of scary headlines like this one out there today about AT&T and Verizon and their new 5G network that they're going to be deploying. What's happening here? Are planes going to just fall out of the sky? It's a little bit complicated, but I'm going to explain this to you in less than 5 minutes, and it's going to blow your mind. So share this around. First things first, major U.S. airline CEOs are warning that 5G could ground planes and wreak havoc on the airline industry. They think this could be catastrophic and cause an aviation crisis. Why? Well, it's all about these things. You've probably seen some of these somewhere around your neighborhood. They're 5G towers. Some people want to burn them down when they see them because, well, there's conspiracies. But a lot of different airlines are freaking out about this. In fact, Emirates canceled flights to 9 U.S. cities, including Newark, San Francisco, and Dallas over 5G safety fears. AT&T and Verizon, for their part, they've said we're going to halt the rollout here in certain areas. We keep that in mind, in certain areas. AT&T and Verizon will hold off on rolling out 5G within 2 miles of airports when the rest of their networks go live on Wednesday. The White House seems to be super happy with that, so make of that what you will. As the nation's leading wireless provider, we voluntarily decided to limit our 5G networks around airports. The Federal Aviation Administration and our nation's airlines have not been able to fully resolve navigating 5G around airports, despite it being safe and fully operational in more than 40 countries. Why can't we do it if 40 other countries can do it? Ask yourself that simple question. Why has this worked in 40 other countries but not ours? AT&T expressed similar frustration. At our sole discretion, we have voluntarily agreed to temporarily defer turning on a limited number of towers. So all the rest of them are going on except for these ones real close to the airport. And again, I'm going to explain to you why in just a moment. So thank you for being patient. They said they're going to slow down this 5G deployment in these areas. We're launching our advanced 5G services everywhere else as planned with the temporary exception of this limited number of towers. Here we go. This guy is an absolute aviation whiz, and I've never seen anybody explain it like this guy. Blanco Lirio is the name of his YouTube channel, and he talked about how in really tough weather situations, you need a triple check system that makes sure that your plane can land itself. Literally, pilot's hands off the wheel, the plane can land itself in these terrible storms. But 5G, it turns out, messes with the tiny little piece of equipment that is required in these situations.
Now, there's
Watch
a lot of equipment on board the aircraft that help us do it. And again, it's got to be in a triple redundant format. But the one piece of critical equipment that can automatically land the aircraft for us is the radar altimeter. It's basically an analog piece of equipment that was designed, well, years ago under certain specifications that were of the state of the art at the time. But now we've got a 5G network that is encroaching on the frequency range of these radar altimeters, creating.
All right, so you can see here this equipment that it showed on the bottom of the plane. It uses this bandwidth, and the 5G band is interfering with this, which could cause problems for these airplanes who are trying to land, and also helicopters, by the way, maybe landing at hospitals, but airplanes who are trying to land in bad weather. It could cause that altimeter to malfunction. And if it does that, well, that's really bad.
A possible interference problem. Now, the radar altimeter is used for a wide variety of reasons in the aircraft, the auto landing being the most critical. And it also helps us out with things like terrain awareness, getting too close to the terrain. That's used with enhanced GPS information, or we call it GPWIS. It's also used in air traffic collision avoidance maneuvers. It's also used in wind shear avoidance maneuvers.
All of those different things could be impacted by that. That's important equipment for these pilots. And it can impact commercial air transport, regional business, and general aircraft, and helicopters, as I said. Many of them are trying to land at these airports. Now, 5G has been deployed all over, but for some reason, we can't get our crap together here in the United States. In fact, this is what AT&T's network looks like now. These outlets have all sorts of 5G coverage already. The big problem seems to be in areas where planes will be flying low or usually by any sort of airport. Here's T-Mobile and the coverage they have for 5G. AT&T, that's one of the outlets that's looking to expand tomorrow. And Verizon. And as you can see, Verizon and AT&T, they don't have nearly the amount of coverage that the other outlet has. So that's what's going on here. They're going to unleash this network, and the airlines are saying, hey, that's going to screw up the altimeters in these planes, and it could screw up the ability for our planes to land, navigate terrain, and do other things. And here's another important thing. It's not going to be your phone where you're talking on a phone and it's got 5G service that does it on the ground. It's going to be the base stations. And most importantly, this is why they tell you to put your cell phone in airplane mode. If you happen to be on one of these flights and turned on your cell phone, that could trigger a connection to the tower, which could cause a disruption. And then all of a sudden, those altimeters don't work, and the people on the flight or in the helicopter, etc., are in danger. So what do you think? Should these companies, AT&T and Verizon, push forward? Should they keep going? And despite what the airlines say, they should still push this network out as far as they can so we can all get sweet, sweet 5G? Or should they stop this so we can make sure that we're safe in this country where helicopters and planes aren't worried about crashing? Seems like a pretty interesting problem to me. Tell me what you think about this in the comments below. Should they stop with the expansion of 5G, or should they let them pull ahead and the airline industry will have to figure this out on their own? If you found this interesting or helpful or explained this issue for you, please hit that share button below. Facebook.com/thenewsjunkie. Hit follow over there for videos like this every day. YouTube.com/thenewsjunkie. Hit subscribe. I appreciate you if you are one of my supporters. Thank you for watching this video. I look forward to your comments, and we'll talk to you again real soon.